Hello everyone, my name is Mr. DRohaly and I'll be giving you the presentation for guitar classes here at Mainland. These are students that are 9th through 12th grade, and we have 3 different levels of guitar: beginning, intermediate, and advanced. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I have 3 different classes for band that I teach, and then I also have 2 different periods for guitar. And within each of those periods, there's beginners, intermediates, and advanced students kind of placed. I have a degree from Penn State. And I have also a minor in music technology, which I was really excited to really take on this whole virtual teaching experience, because I know I can give the kids a great experience with some of my background. I have a wonderful family. My wife's a music teacher, and I have 2 little wonderful boys. I love maintaining my lawn. It's kind of the opposite of technology, which I like a lot, but it's my little quirk that my students enjoy, looking out my lawn and the stripes that I do in it, the different designs and such. So I'm pretty obsessive about my lawn. But overall, I am just really all about music and my family. All right, so we're going to talk about the health and safety of everybody for this year, and what are we doing to make sure it's a very safe environment for all of our children that come into the band room. So over the summer, I was working to clean, change, and do maintenance on 30-plus different instruments, for the reason that we cannot share guitars this year, and it's just a better situation where everybody can have their own guitar. They bring it to school with them, and then they take it right back home if they're a hybrid student. And if they're a all virtual person, they could have picked up a guitar already, and then they're just using the school guitar at home with a gig bag. We are going to be cleaning a lot of stuff in the band room. If there's any kind of music stands, we'll be cleaning those after every use. I already mentioned that we're not sharing any instruments, and we're always keeping our social distancing guidelines here. The band room has chairs set up that are at least 6 feet apart. This is a very large room, so I'm very fortunate that we have this space to utilize for all of our guitar students. And how does one be successful in guitar, especially in this virtual setting? Well, for materials, they're going to need their instrument, whether it's the school-provided one or the personal one. So if they're coming into school, they bring it in the morning, they drop it off in the band room, they can go to their other classes, then they come back to me for guitar, and then they go back to their other classes, and at the end of the day, they pick it up. If they're involved in a sport or anything else right after school, they can take their guitar from this band room and take it out to the, I guess right now the plan is putting it in the outside concession stand, so they can have a safe place for it. And then when they're done with their sports, whether they're an away game or this just a practice, they'll have it unlocked for them, ready to take it back home. Since everybody has a different starting point for guitar, I'm just asking that everybody is constantly improving. That's really the name of the game, is to constantly improve stuff. And we are in an elective situation here, so when everybody is having fun, they're engaged in something with something in their hand, there's hardly any kind of behavioral issues. So if something does arise, I'll speak to the student privately about it. We'll make a little plan. Then if that doesn't change anything, I'll speak to parents with an email or a phone call. So you'll always be in the loop for it. I always tell the kids too, I forgot to mention, that an isolated location to play guitar is the best, because we're actually making noise. I need to hear what they're doing. So if it's a possibility, they could just even go in the bathroom and sit on the edge of the tub there and have the virtual background behind them. So I would have no idea that they're in the bathroom. So those virtual backgrounds are really key to keeping everybody feeling safe and not like worried about what's behind me. Just use a virtual background. It makes it all better. What assignments are we going to be doing in guitar? Well, there's a lot of things planned. I have things that, yes, they're going to be judged on how they're playing. So they'll have rubrics for that. How well they play is something they're going to be practicing towards. They'll have listening journals where they hear everything from death metal to ska to country to classical guitar. it's all over the place, and I just want to expose the kids to different sounds. We'll be doing a self-paced curriculum I'll talk about in a second, and we'll be doing other practice logs throughout the class. What technology is going to be used, since I am all about music technology, right behind you is the setup that I kind of have going on. I changed it a little bit throughout the first couple weeks to really make it streamlined, but we'll be using online platforms. ShedTheMusic.com is the online curriculum that I helped develop. Smart Music, that's for all of our GT students. Music First is like another, I guess, just a competitor to Smart Music, where they play music into their microphones, and then the sheet music on the computer screen will turn red or green based upon correct or incorrect notes and assessments for it. Sight Reading Factory is just sight reading. They've never stolen music before, and it records it and then it sends it to me. Noteflight's a composition tool. Soundtrap is a digital audio workstation, and think multi-track recording like they do in recording studios. We'll talk about that. We'll do our own duets with ourselves, with each other. Flipgrid's a way for them to send me videos and some other stuff. Chrome Lab is for science and music. So Shed the Music is the platform that I helped develop, where you can see on the left side there's a bunch of different modules going on. There's diatonic chords, different lead sheets, there's stuff for strumming, but it's really based upon the modern music and modern guitar method of stuff. So with the older curriculums, it's all like classical based stuff, but I feel like students should have an idea of what modern music is and how it's created, and also then take the skills that they're learning in this class and then just keep it for the rest of their life. Like, it's got to be interesting to them, so let's make that connection. So how's a virtual class run? Well, as you saw in the other picture, I had my command station here in the band room, and I have various angles that we can do. So when the students come in to our virtual classroom, I have this setup over here. I have all of our learning goals. We have different thing down here for our GT students. They'll be doing something separate in a breakout room, while the other students up here are working towards practicing. I'll give them feedback. I can just have a normal conversation with somebody like this. If we're going to be talking about Microsoft Teams, I can go over here and show them what I need to, or what their class, any kind of, here's an epic music thing. I just send everybody like good music to listen to while you're studying. Here's where I have all of my daily video meetings. So there's a lot of stuff for other students within this class. So unfortunately, parents don't have access to see what's here or to stay on top of them, but you do have access to Infinite Campus. So I can go back to our presentation. I can go over here to our iPad. And in the iPad, I can play, and it listens for the notes, and I can tune that way. This is a really helpful thing I showed. So now the students can really see my fingers as I go, and I can talk to them normally, watch their Zoom or Microsoft Teams meeting up on the screen here. So it's really helpful to have all these visuals for students, because guitar is a very tricky thing to learn by just looking at one little screen and like trying to look at other angles. So it's really nice to be able to switch between all that stuff. Okay. Grading policy. I just want to put it out there first that if a student needs some sort of modification for me, not necessarily like it's an official IEP or 504, yes, those will absolutely be adhered to, but I'm thinking if somebody is helping their little brother or sister because their Chromebook just just lost power and trying to figure out that, of course, I'll let them go do that. I will try to help them if they need to submit something at 8 o'clock in the night rather than 3 p.m. at the end of the day. That's something that we can talk about and work on a one-on-one basis. Point values for everything, just it's the more time it takes to do an assignment, the greater the value of points in the grade book. So I'm really trying to think that the larger things that are going to be taking time, whether it's a performance assessment, that's going to take time to practice and get ready for that performance assessment. Small little daily increment things, that they'll just be tiny points just to keep track. There's always going to be asynchronous work, meaning they have to complete it on their own time. It'll start at 8 a.m. on a Thursday, and then it'll be due at 3 p.m. at the end of a Friday. So it'll be one assignment. So whether they're an all virtual student or they're a hybrid student coming in on Thursday and then staying home on Friday, or vice versa, there's only one assignment for them to do, and they have to do that for their participation and a grade. So that's something that we work towards for the rest of the week there. Any late work will be accepted up until 5 school days after the unit ends. The length of the units vary, so if we're doing something like what kind of amp could you buy, that's only a couple days worth of stuff. But then if we're doing how to play a bunch of chords, then, well, that's obviously a longer couple week unit. So students should just get stuff in as soon as possible and not try to wait till the last second for it. If you need anything, let me know. My email is DRohaly@mainlandregional.net. I'm always open to talking to parents, especially if Christmas is coming around and you see that your child has a good interest in guitar and they're using a school guitar, but maybe you want to get them something. I can help you find a quality instrument within your budget for that, or even help you with any other accessories. Maybe you can't get a guitar, but maybe you want a stocking stuffer like a guitar tuner or a book for them. I can help you, point you in the right direction for that. I'll also send out occasional Infinite Campus messages to parents with different work that we're doing, just to highlight our class content. So have a great rest of your day, evening, night, as you're watching these back to school presentations, and stick around. There'll be a little video right after this that shows you kind of what we do in a virtual setting for guitar. Take care. Then when you go from A to D, next chord over here, A to D, you keep your first finger down, and let's see everyone make that switch from A to D. Keep your left hand within the video, please, so I can see how you're moving your left hand. So A to D. A to D. Let's review D progression here. Starts on the first chord, which is D. I'll use my Apple Pencil to highlight stuff. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different strings on the guitar. The 6th string, is that the thinnest one or the thickest one, Tyler? Yeah, yes, the bigger the number, the bigger the string. The bigger the number, bigger the string. So if you're looking at the guitar chord chart, you put the guitar in front of you, and you're staring at it this way. So on the left side is the bigger number, and then the right side is thin. So this is string 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So there we have the rest. Find E7, 3, and go. 1, 2,